When it comes to Happy Birthday, it's a reminder that child actors can excel without experiencing a high level of trauma or being an accessory to an adult's performance. So to summarize the film, with her parents on the outs with one another, Nellie fears her ninth birthday party won't happen. Thankfully though, her household maid, who's a similar age to her named Toa, makes every effort she can to make the party happen alongside Nellie's grandmother who wants her daughter Layla, Nellie's mom, to reconcile with Nellie's father Asir. However, as the day progresses, Toa is forced to realize that despite how close she feels to the family, how much she's trying to do for Nellie's birthday, there are boundaries she's not expected to cross, and when she doesn't catch the hint, unfortunately she is forced to reckon with the hard truth. So get into the review section. Its only highlights, and the first one is how invested you get into Toa's story. For even before you learn about Toa's home life, from sharing a home with at least 5 or 6 siblings, her father being absent and at best coming from a working class background, you love Toa. She gives you everything you expect from someone starring in like a Steven Spielberg movie or a Guillermo del Toro film, in this little person who is extroverted, inquisitive, and has figured out a way to maintain some sense of being a child while knowing she's contributing to a household in a notable and often what should be in an adult kind of way. But it is when she doesn't have to be the little adult and make sure Nellie gets up on time for school, which she seemingly has never attended, that you get emotionally invested in this child. For as she seems awestruck by going to the mall, the concept of blowing out candles to make a wish on your birthday, it reminds you of all the beauty there was in experiencing something for the first time and not being jaded by how accessible everything could be. What may really seal the deal for you is that Toa is a hard worker. While she's not even in the double digits yet, she demonstrates herself worthy of all the experiences, and although there's some naivety regarding what she can and cannot do, or what she cannot ask to do, it is understandable why she is initially forgiven and often given grace. However, in the long term, you easily could become worried about all this being snatched from her, especially as it becomes clear her existence in Nellie's household is supposed to be a secret. The next highlight is the slow but steady realization that Toa is another. Now, to begin, with Toa's mom, Nadia, knowing her daughter is capable of great things, even without the ability to read at her age, you can appreciate her sending her daughter to work under Layla's roof. However, part of the heartbreak when it comes to Happy Birthday is that it appears Toa wasn't adequately prepared for what was expected beyond the work. And as anyone for job knows, often it's not the labor but the people who make it doing anything difficult. Whether it's bosses or co-workers, managing the social dynamics of the job often can be taxing. So in watching Toa learn this, you can feel yourself being reminded of what was presented in the interview not matching the day-to-day. But yes, Toa gets a nice place to sleep, even if it is on the couch, and she believes that she's friends with her boss's granddaughter and has it good. But then comes the ego, the potential legality of her employment, and all the complications which arise from Toa's naivete, which makes it so she gets that unfortunate hit the ground running or trial by fire experience where she didn't get to learn the nice and easy way. She had to learn the hard way. And mind you, this isn't to say her mother didn't try to protect her. However, as a single woman with 6 kids, the eldest barely being a teenager, what capacity does she have to be gentle and soft-spoken? When resources such as money or time are in limited supply, how can you focus and refine a kid like Toa? You can't. And this means that Toa, while she could be applauded for taking initiative and and trying to show herself as grateful and feeling like part of the family, she has to be reminded she is not when she oversteps. And the results of these lessons, when she can easily access the compound Layla lives in, or realizes she might be a child but she isn't seen as a child in Layla's community, it may hurt your feelings just as much as it hurts Toa's. For the last highlight, it's just that the black and white world Toa lives in, compared to the one that Layla has, you don't see in the film either one being damned or uplifted. And as you know, it is a stark contrast between the world Layla lives in and the one Nadia works and lives in. Layla lives in a gated community where talks can't enter, and appears only the fairest can traverse without being questioned. Meanwhile, Nadia's world was is filled with dilapidated buildings, smog, a lack of trees, murky water, and even in the case of her home, washing is done with the use of bottles or hoses. Yet, despite the stark contrast between the two worlds, through Toa's eyes, both seem normal. It's all just different ways to live, and while she may like some of the things the suburbs have, she still enjoys fishing by hand in her mother's area, even in the murky waters. She likes skipping rocks and surprisingly never comes to a point of looking down where she came from. Are there things which the rich do, like birthday parties with cakes that have candles you can make wishes on that she wishes were normal in her community? Yes. But it is truly beautiful to see a young person like Toa never turn her nose up just because she has had a taste of what the other side lives like. It reminds you of how, even at a young age, people can love and appreciate where they come from and sometimes want to bring back things from their travels rather than abandoning what was their home altogether. If not disown it due to negative connotations that the outside world has of where they come from. But overall, when it comes to Happy Birthday, it delivers one of the best child performances we've seen in years, anchored by Dora Ramadan's remarkable ability to bring us directly into Toa's world. Through Toa's eyes, we experience a blend of awe and wonder as if we're watching a sci-fi story. Yet, despite the beauty presented through Toa's lens, the film also explores the painful reality of having a taste of the better life, yet feeling unwelcome in it, adding a deep, almost universal layer to Toa's journey. But as much as Toa may face rejection from the upper class, it's beautiful to see her never disregard where she comes from and a desire to bring back what makes Layla's world so beautiful rather than want to abandon her own, which makes her all the more lovable. And this makes it so, overall, Happy Birthday feels like a standout at film festivals like Tribeca, but not only does it offer a fresh perspective, but it also lacks familiar faces and narratives, making it like a mental and emotional palate cleanse. One that makes you appreciate what you've seen and loved all the more, and remain curious about what else is out there, which may not get the marketing it deserves.